Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be, what more could you have done in the narcissistic relationship? Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So frequently during one-on-one sessions that I provide, people will ask me, hey, is there something else I could have done? Was it my fault? Should I have tried harder? I mean, did I do everything I could have done? The answer to those questions and many more will be revealed to you during this video. I will first of all let you know that if you were in a narcissistic relationship and you are on the channel and in the community getting educated, I am certain that you gave everything you had in that relationship, because most likely the narcissist saw what you had, all of your resources, everything that you possessed, your beauty, your abundance, your social circle status, all of your resources, and they wanted to capture all of those for themselves for a period of time, which was the length of the relationship. Now, the narcissist most likely hoodwinked you, they manipulated you, they tricked you and trapped you, and they placed you in that zombie-like, trance-like state, the narcissistic fog, where you were existing and you did not know how you were placed there. You did not even know that that place existed, but it was a mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, financial place that you could not get out of, and all of your resources were becoming depleted more and more and more. So getting back to the thumbnail, is there something else you could have done in that relationship to, let's say, extend the relationship or to try to be in the relationship longer? Knowing what we know now, why would you have wanted to be in that relationship any longer? You shouldn't have. Now that you're getting the wisdom, you're applying the tools that are provided for you here, you understand that getting out of these narcissistic relationships is the path. If not now, when? Now, there's a caveat, and it's a big one. If you were caught up in the trauma bond, or perhaps you are right now, my heart goes out to you. I know what it's like. Breaking the trauma bond is imperative. It is one of the most challenging things to do, known to humankind, but I did it. If I did it, you can do it. And you will need to do this. And I can assure you the narcissist placed you there because they kept you on that hamster wheel going around and around and around. And when the front door would open, or when you would go to work, if you worked with a narcissist, you never could figure out who was going to be there. Was it going to be the Dr. Jekyll person or Mr. Hyde? You could never quite get a grip on it. And just when things were getting comfortable, in other words, just when you're having a few days of normalcy or of a relatively stable relationship with this person, boom, here comes a rage fit, or here comes a mountain of work on your desk, or here comes ghosting, or gaslighting, or stonewalling, or the silent treatment, or perhaps you're triangulated, my least favorite thing these people do. The narcissist, number one, knows exactly what they're doing. Number two, they know where they placed you. And number three, they worked very hard in the beginning of that relationship. They put a lot of time and effort into you to learn about you, to figure out what makes you tick, to figure out where you were in the past, where you are in the present, and where you want to be in the future. They learned about your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations, your goals. And what they did with you many times is they would future fake with you. In other words, let's take the workplace bully or the narcissistic workplace bully. This person is the person that will give you a mountain of work. They will blow up your phone during off hours, especially on weekends or holidays, and they will promise you a raise or a promotion or the corner office or a trip. They're going to promise you the moon and the stars because they're trying to extract the most work out of you possible for a period of time, which in that job that you're thinking about, maybe it was a month, maybe it's 2 months, a couple of years, a decade, who knows. But they knew you were a great employee and a rock solid person. And they knew you could be pushed because most likely you did not know, A, they were a narcissist, B, they were a workplace bully, or C, that this person never had your best interest at heart. All they wanted to do was dangle that carrot in front of you to help you, to make you believe you're going to get the promotion, the pay raise, the corner office, etc. And usually these things never happen, because when you do the mountain of work that they wanted you to do, let's say it's over a 1 year period, and then it's time to meet them for a one-on-one review, and then you can discuss the pay raise or promotion you were supposed to get. Many times they have a short or selective memory, and they say, I don't really recall saying that to you. What are you referring to? Is it documented? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Oh, I did say something along those lines, but let's talk about that next week. Right now, I've got to go grab some lunch. Just hang in there. So they'll do things like that, and next thing you know, you're scratching your head, and what happens there? That destroys trust for the employee, but the narcissist, the workplace bully, knows what they're doing, because they're going to get your replacement as soon as they can, because probably they have another individual who could take your job maybe not as quickly or do it as efficiently as you can, but someone waiting in the wings to do your job. And that's why in the workplace, the narcissistic individual is the person that usually sticks around the longest. It's the other people, the stable, healthy people that keep coming and going. That's why if you are going for a job and it says, oh, this job hasn't been filled in 3 years or 2 years or something, or all these applicants, they only make it a couple weeks. Ding, 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 huge red flags everywhere. I would not take the job because there is a high likelihood that the company is not a good company, or you're going to be working for someone who's going to be hammering you, peppering you with abuse. That is the workplace bully. Another example is with the narcissist. When you were with them, you gave to a fault. I can assure you, you gave everything you had and more. Probably what you did, if let's say you married the narcissist, let's say you had kids or you were a stepdad or mom. Well, what you did there is most likely you provided a roof, stability, you paid tuition, you raised the kids, you paid for Ubers or taxis or clothes or school supplies. You did everything you possibly could, because if you were a mom or dad, or if you are a mom or dad and you married the narcissist, well, you are a kind, loving, stable, healthy individual. And the narcissist knew this. When they saw you, even before, let's say you had kids, they looked at you as an opportunity and they said, oh my gosh, this person, which is you, they don't even know their worth. They don't know their value. They don't know what I will do to them. So I will get really close with them. I'll learn all about them. I will have them fall in love with me. Once I hear those magic words, I love you, which were from you, and they certainly were from me. Well, when that happens, they now know that they have you. Now the darkness, the pitch blackness of their pupils swell up like beach balls, and now they're like, oh my gosh, it only took me 6 months. This is great. Now all I need to do is get that wedding ring on my finger, buy the house, and then this person, which was you, is gonna raise my kids and pay for me for a period of time throughout life. In other words, probably help them start a business, or offer them a lifestyle, or travel the globe, or make them look good, or provide barbecues, vacations, whatever you were providing for them. And you were doing it out of the kindness of your heart because you are a stable, healthy individual, maybe even an empath. But back then, remember, you were trapped, you were hoodwinked. The person that you were referring to back then, maybe even the person you married, they never loved you. They can't love you. They don't love anybody. The only person they care about is themselves. And keep in mind, in the narcissistic abusive cycle, there is only one constant, one. And the cycle goes around and around this one constant, and you know who it is. That's right, it's the narcissist. It's not you, it's not their kids, it's not their job, it's nothing other than the narcissist. That is why when you have identified that someone is a toxic individual, maybe even a narcissist, you must go no contact, block them, delete them, remove all flying monkeys and people associated with them. If not now, when? If you can't do that, utilize gray rock. Just become dull and boring. Don't share information about you. Don't share what you're doing, who you're with. Don't share anything about you. That's what you need to do. Now, many of you understand what I'm talking about. Drop comments below, pay it forward. The narcissist wanted to keep you, they wanted to keep you stuck. They wanted to keep you trapped. They did not want you ever figuring out who they were. They did not want you escaping the narcissistic fog. They did not want you healing. They did not want you rebuilding your life. They didn't think you would ever make it out of that narcissistic fog. That's why if you were discarded, many times the narcissist just slithers away into the darkness onto a new source or sources of supply. That is what they did with you when you first met them. They were slithering away from another source of supply, but they didn't tell you that now, did they? No, they didn't. What they did is they most likely told you, let's say it was romantic interest, they told you that their ex-spouse or partner was such a bad person and they treated him so poorly. In other words, the narcissist came at you with the victim card, or maybe they said, hey, you know, I'm just looking for a period of time. Can you just put a roof over my head, or can we just be friends, or can you loan me money, or can you just pay my tuition? Whatever they will do, because they're trying to get close to you. And the closer you get to the narcissist, specifically in the beginning of the relationship, the more deadly the bite is. Why I say that is because the narcissist, they will come at you one way, meaning they will wear the mask and they will manipulate you. And when that mask slips and it crashes and it falls to the ground into 1,000 pieces, that's when you're going to see the real person. But by then it's going to be too late. So when that happens, that's when they have taken all of your resources, or most of your resources, away from you. And this is all by design, because they jump from person to person, business to business, place to place, relationship to relationship, blowing up everything that comes across their path, leaving a wake of destruction. That is why when these relationships end, they end with a thud, a crash, a bang. You don't get closure. You don't know what's going on. What you do know is you gave everything to a fault. Perhaps you were a people pleaser, a yes person. Perhaps you didn't have boundaries. Maybe you couldn't say no, the strongest word in the English language. I am certain that most of those things fit you. But then again, after you were discarded, you look in retrospect and you say, wow, oh my gosh, that was a challenging relationship, to say the least. This is even before you get the wisdom on what narcissism is. And you're trying to put yourself back together, but you can't wrap your head around it because now there's a huge void. And that void must be filled by education, by slowing your life down, by processing things, by understanding that that person who just, let's say, discarded you, they never had your best interest at heart. They actually had disdain for you. They had jealousy of you. They did not want you to exist. That is why the discard usually takes place around holidays, special events, birthdays, when you're ill or sick, or you just lost your job, or you just lost a loved one, etc. Because the narcissist wants to inflict as much damage upon you and anybody they encounter in relationships as possible, because they want you as low in a vibrational state as they are. And again, they capture your beautiful, bright, shining light, your abundance for the length of that relationship, and they keep you hoodwinked and fooled and tricked and trapped in that low vibrational quagmire state where they exist. And they had the energy exchange with you. They stole all of your resources and your positive energy and your abundance and your belief in yourself and your identity and your social circle and your status and your health and your network of friends and your money and your time. All of these things they stole from you, each and every one of them. And if this was you, if you were in this relationship and this happened to you, drop comments below. But this is what they do. And when they take as much as they can possibly take, usually the number one thing they want is money. But when they get what they want, then they usually crumble people up like a sheet of paper, throw them away in the freeway, and they go on to the other unsuspecting source of supply, or they recycle past sources of supply. Either way, they disappear, just like a cockroach in the kitchen at midnight when you turn the light switch on. It's all by design. Many times when you're in the relationship, when you're getting a little too close to figuring out who they are, what happens there? Well, the narcissist will give you some fake love, some fake empathy, some fake humankind kindness. That's what they'll do to keep you off the scent, off the trail. But when this happens, and you'll notice it happens more and more frequently, when that happens throughout the length of the relationship, when that happens, they're like, oh my gosh, this one's wising up. They're catching on to me. I need to really get the replacement in line soon because I need a source of supply. And also this person, which was you, their resources are really taking a hit and their health is on the decline and they don't have any more money I can take from them. So what am I gonna do? Of course, what I'm going to do is kick them to the curb and get the new supply lined up in place. That's what I will do. And that's how I go from person to person, business to business, relationship to relationship. That's the life of the narcissist. There is no genuineness. There's no authenticity. There is no sitting down and introspecting by the narcissist. The only thing you're going to get from them is confusion, manipulation, chaos, destruction, devastation, and taking. And that's another thing. The narcissist wants to take. And when they're done, what do they want to do? That's right, they want to take more. So could you have done more in the relationship? If you made it this far in the video, there's no way you could have. And right now you are exactly where you're supposed to be. You're not supposed to be with the narcissist. You're not supposed to be anywhere near those people or any of the people they associate with. You're supposed to be right here, right now with me, consuming the content, getting the education, getting the wisdom, and applying the tools, and understanding that you are out of that relationship or you're looking to exit it. Maybe you're trying to exit it when your kids graduate high school or college, who knows? Or maybe you're waiting to sell the house or get the divorce finalized. Usually people are waiting for something because the narcissist has them tethered multiple ways. But when you finally break free from all four ties, which include the emotional ties, the financial ties, the physical ties, and the spiritual ties, when you break those, you understand that you're now on the path. You're headed on the path of healing to the pinnacle of indifference, the mountaintop of indifference. Remember, the healing path is not linear. It takes time. It takes a lot of time. But in time, you will heal if you understand that you need to go no contact with the narcissist. You need to understand they did not have your best interest at heart. And going back to the thumbnail, you did everything you possibly could have. Remember this one. Compare the narcissistic relationship you are thinking about right now with another similar relationship. The other relationships that you had in the past that were not narcissistic, you just probably, in a couple weeks or a month, maybe you got over them and you moved forward and you don't really think about those people anymore. Why? Because they weren't toxic or challenging. They were just average, everyday human beings that you guys ended it and you moved forward. That's it. But that's why you need to heal from a narcissistic relationship, because there is no other way. There's no magic wand. There's no pill that you can take that will erase all of the pain, all of the abuse, all of the manipulation, all of the lies, the deceit, the destruction, all the torment. All of these things are planted within you by the narcissist on purpose. What do you think gaslighting is? What do you think triangulation is? What do you think rage fits are? What do you think verbal abuse is? What do you think the smear campaign is? What do you think all these poor behaviors are? The silent treatment. They're all on purpose. They're childlike, but they're meant to destroy you and drive a wedge between you and anything that matters to you, which includes your health, social circle, friends, network, jobs. It's everything about you. You lost yourself. You lost your identity to the narcissist because you were always trying to please them or keep them appeased, if you will. Because the minute that front door opened, if the narcissist was in a good mood, then the whole house was in a good mood. If that front door opened and the narcissist was not in a good mood, everybody better be on their best behavior, because now there's going to be some punishment dished out. And most likely it would be administered to you, because if you were the spouse, that's who it goes to. Or if you're the scapegoat child. We know all these terms and definitions now on the narcissistic abusive cycle. We're learning them, and we are processing exactly what kind of relationship we exited, we came out of. Now again, if you were discarded, my heart goes out to you. If you ended it yourself, again, my heart goes out to you. But really be kind to yourself and really understand that you did everything you could to a fault, and that even when you were discarded, you still wanted to work on the relationship. And even when you were discarded, you still thought that perhaps there was a little glimmer of hope that the narcissist could change, or that they did love you, or that you could have done something more. Let me share a couple things with you. The narcissist can't change. They don't love, they have no empathy. What they wanted to do was take everything from you they possibly could, discard you, not give you closure, and then leave you a shell of yourself. And that's how they go on from person to person. The next thing I want to share with you is the narcissist, they did everything the way they did it because they're such master manipulators, and it's so easy for them. When they discarded you and you saw the pitch blackness of their pupils in their eyes, you could tell that that was not the person that you fell in love with. It was a completely different person. So this is another thing I mentioned with people during one-on-one sessions. I ask them, hey, the last time you saw the narcissist, was it the same person you fell in love with? And many times they'll say, no, not even close. I don't even recognize that person. As a matter of fact, they say that virtually every time. And the reason that happens is because the narcissist manipulated you into falling in love with them. And they knew what they were doing because they sell snake oil. They're master manipulators. They're thieves that just run around in the night, always looking for supply. If they don't have supply, they are not going to have a good day, week, month, or year. If they have supply, they have somebody to abuse, to be the human punching bag, to be the walking apology, to be the unpaid helper, to be someone to pepper with verbal abuse and other kinds of abuse. But the person you saw at the end of that relationship, they were unrecognizable. And that is exactly who the narcissist is in real life. So before I close the video, understand you did everything you could have done. There was nothing more you could have done. If you stayed in the relationship knowing that they were a toxic person, you're not helping yourself out, because it's going to boil down to one of two things. One, it's either going to be the narcissist or you. And I'll tell you right now, if you've made it this far in the video, it's you, which means you're a survivor. You're healing, you're learning, you're growing, you're teaching, you're becoming awakened and aware, educated, and empowered. What's the narcissist doing? They're just playing the same old games of manipulation, going around and around and around, and they're stuck in that low vibrational quagmire state. They just want to look for a new source of supply that they can fool and hoodwink and glom onto to get that person to fall in love with them, or to make that person believe that they just found the best thing since sliced bread. And that's how the cycle goes on and on and on. But the cycle can't go on without you. Remember, when you get the wisdom and you've identified that whoever you're thinking about is a toxic person, narcissist or not, toxic person, that is when you really need to understand. The onus is now on you. You now need to understand that nobody's going to come knock on your door. No one's going to save you. You are going to have to really fight for yourself. You're going to have to understand that blocking is the path, and that the narcissist never had your best interest at heart. They never did back then. They don't now, and they never will in the future, because the narcissist wanted to capture you, and they wanted to steal everything from you, and they did. But they did not believe you would heal. They did not believe you would figure them out. They did not believe you would move forward. They did not believe that you would put yourself back together. But that's exactly what you've done, or you are doing it. So be kind to yourself. Be nice to yourself. Understand you weren't taught narcissism 101 in school, so you didn't know what you were up against. It was advantage narcissist the whole relationship until you finally got that light bulb moment or you typed in the search engine or YouTube, spouse won't talk to me, or gaslighting or something, and then boom, 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 all these videos pop up where education's all around you. You were meant to find the wisdom when you were meant to find it. Another thing, many people say, wow, I really wish I had this wisdom, this education 20, 30, 40 years ago. You know what? I do too. But you weren't meant to find it back then. First of all, YouTube wasn't around. Second of all, the internet wasn't around. If it's 40 years ago, I don't think it was around. And the other thing is that you're meant to find things when you're meant to find them. In other words, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. There are so many things about this planet that we don't know, we don't understand. And when we are meant to discover them, we discover them. And narcissism is one of those things. So you are right where you're supposed to be, right here, right now with me, just as I am supposed to be here with you. I'm creating this content. You're consuming it no matter where you are. Going to bed, waking up, having a coffee, on the beach, on a plane, at work, wink, wink, looking for a new job. Who knows where you are, what you're doing. Maybe you're exercising. Maybe you're walking through the woods as I'm creating the video right here in the beautiful Carolina woods. But the point being, you're getting the wisdom now. So be kind to yourself that you got the wisdom now. There are so many people who currently are in narcissistic relationships as we speak that don't know what they're up against. They haven't found that first light bulb moment, and they're being abused each and every day. There are other people who are entering toxic narcissistic relationships right now as I'm creating this video, and they too don't know what they're up against. Or maybe they thought they've healed, but they didn't have boundaries in place yet, and they didn't do all the heavy lifting to reach the pinnacle of indifference, the mountaintop of indifference, and they're entering a relationship when they think they've healed and they haven't. The cycle will keep going on and on and on until the education is everywhere and people have boundaries and people understand that not everybody has your best interest at heart, and most people are envious of you. Many people are envious of you, many people are jealous of you, and many people want to be you. And that's the narcissist right there in a nutshell. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. Remember that. You are not alone. And have a great day. It is cold, so I fumbled a couple words there because it's chilly. I love you all. God bless you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right. Enjoy yourselves. Bye, guys.